Ain't no way you mean to tell me that we just pull up to the movies for the first date and your mom is here. What is your mother doing here?
It's Tiana Will, and you're listening to the Tea Talks. You're listening to the Tea Talks.
What's popping? You are now tuned into the Tea Talks, aka Talks with T. You know me. It's your girl Tiana Will, and I am back with another episode, baby. If you're a new listener, welcome. As always, this podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and you can also watch this podcast visually on YouTube at the The'T'talksPod. This is a space for real conversations, honest advice, laughs, and a little bit of I said what I said energy. There are no topics off limits, so let's get into it. All right. So first things first, what's new with me? You know, what's tea? What did I do over the past weekend or the past week since we last talked? And one of the major things that I did was I planted a garden and kind of did like a mini makeover in our backyard. And if I'm being honest, I moved in with my husband. So let's just say I have turned this house into a home. And so the backyard was one of the places that I really wanted to turn into a home because it was not home. Like, I mean, honestly, couldn't really go back there. And thankfully somebody complained. That's all I'm gonna say. Anywho, so I decided that I wanted to make a raised bed garden, and I thought I was gonna be able to use all. I got 84 bricks, so I thought I'd be able to use all of them to make it kind of go against the whole wall. But I didn't do like really good measurements. But granted, I was able to make like a little section that was good enough to fit 3 vegetables, and those 3 vegetables that I was able to plant were jalapenos, sweet peppers, and Roma tomatoes. And I am so happy. I like I just can't wait for them to bloom or to grow. And I did have a little technical difficulties as far as making sure like there were no flies around and then like these fungus gnats. So I did have to make a concoction, which was hydrogen peroxide and water, and I had to let my soil dry out like on the top layer and then spray that on top so that the gnats don't grow and like create a cycle or whatever. I am very much an amateur, whatever, furniture. Uh, so I really don't know what I'm doing, but I'm hoping for the best. And I truly cannot wait. And I hope that I'm very successful because I will not lie. I am a person who has killed a cactus, and I feel like that already says enough. So, yeah, super excited about that. Then the other thing that I did this past week was I decorated my mom's house for her Super Bowl party. She is a Patriots fan, boo. But it was a great time. I did the balloon decorations, and like I said on my personal Instagram, pay the balloon artists. The people that are like the people that you go ask to do your balloon decorations, and you're like, oh, I want this arch, or I want this backdrop, or I want this waterfall, or I want whatever, pay them. Whatever fee that they have given you, pay them, people. Because when I tell you it took me 2.5 to 3 hours to put together the balloon backdrop that I did for this party, it took me 2.5, 3 hours. And granted, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I learn very fast, so of course I can watch like videos and, that kind of stuff. But to think that you are hiring someone to do your balloon decorations and have them set them up at whatever location that you are at is crazy. Like, and then the fact that it's crazy that you don't want to pay the fee is what I'm saying. And I'm not saying all people don't want to pay the fee. I'm just saying I very much hear people complain about the fee. Granted, I would probably be people who would complain about the fee, but I also a lot of times just know I can just do it. I just don't have the time, but I'm finding time to do things if I don't want to pay for it. Granted, but yeah, like it was crazy to do, but I was so happy about how it came out. I feel like I should insert like a clip of like what it looked like. Hopefully I remember to insert a clip, but I'm putting my hand right here to remind myself when I edit. But anywho, so I did that, and then the Super Bowl came. On the sports side of the Super Bowl, it was so boring. Um, Granted, my team wasn't there, so I really didn't give a fuck. But you know, if you're a Cowboys fan, you already know 2026, 2027 is our year. You know what I'm saying? We was just warming up. We'll be there. We'll be at the bowl. You're going to see us at SoFi. I'm saying it now. I'm claiming it now. I need to put my ticket in now, too. But yeah. So the game was whatever. I don't even think I really watched the game ever. I don't think there was anything I watched about the game, to be honest. I wasn't even inside. I was eating, and not even a lot, but I was eating, and then I was smoking hookah. I haven't smoked hookah in a while, in a long time. I don't even say a while. Like, I probably haven't smoked hookah in like maybe like 5 months. It's been quite a bit of time. So that, and I was drinking, haven't drank since a while either. So I was just having me a good time. But I was really here for the Benito Bowl, baby. You know, it was such a joy to watch Good Bunny, Bad Bunny perform for the halftime show. I was thoroughly impressed. I feel like the message was very clear. Love is way stronger than hate. I feel like it was a beautiful representation of what culture can like culture and just like who you are and where you come from can look like, but also show unification. I don't even know if that's a word. Is unification a word? But also can show like we are all unified. I also very much like that he reminded those who are watching, and if I believe correctly, I seen how many views there were for the Super Bowl halftime show, which was 1.38 million or something like that. And I will say that at least 1 million people should have received a history lesson or geography lesson on the fact that America is multiple continents. Like America is a continent. You know what I'm saying? You have North America, Central America, and South America. And that simple reminder definitely let me know and reminded me that these people are jokes. That's all I'm like. The people are jokes. Like the people who literally sit around and are just like, this is not what America is supposed to be. America who? Because I know you ain't talking about this America, the United States, the states that have became united, that were once colonies that also did not get along. Also, people who came here to this land that was already taken. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me y'all been thieves? Thieves of America that has ran on thievery? Thrivery? Thrivery. Thievery? You mean the same United States that was committing crimes from the beginning? Oh, okay. We talking about that America. I know if that's really American or not. You know what I mean? Or the United States of American, whatever you want it to be. Um, yeah, I thought that was interesting. So I really like that visual representation of like we all these countries make up America, the Americas. And then granted, it's like if we really thinking smart, right? The United States of America is also like little mini countries. And I think about there was a girl on TikTok, granted, don't remember who she is. I don't know, credit her, whatever. I don't want people to think I'm just making shit up or stealing people's stuff. But she talked about how I think like somebody from another country was like, how come people in the United States don't leave America or the United States to go travel to like other countries? And she made a great point of the fact that like America or the United States in general is it's literally 50 countries in itself. Like you go to state, you are going to see different things, which makes sense because me, my mom, and my sister, we are always trying to make sure that we visit all 50 states because they're so different. They're so vastly different as well. The history for every state is so different. The, what is that? Agriculture. Talking about agriculture. The environment. I don't know. The way things look, their downtowns, the cityscapes, all that kind of stuff is so different. The way people move, their food is different. Like, all of that is already like in itself making up the United States. I mean, every state has its own flag. States be having their own songs or poems or whatever, they birds, all kinds of stuff. So it's like the fact that people in the United States will still sit here and say that, oh, well, that's not American or that is not American. It's like, first of all, man, for example, if you from Florida, like people who be from Florida, I don't rock with people. A lot of people from Florida. I mean, granted, yes. Now hold on, let me not say that Florida. I don't need Floridians to come after me, but you know what I'm saying? Like we not one and the same. Cause I'm from Nevada. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I know most people are like, "What's in Nevada? What's in Nevada?" Nothing. Las Vegas. That's it. Don't worry about it. Um, but like we within our states are not even the same. So to even sit here and be like, but we all need to come to one when it's you don't like because somebody speaks another language, like okay. And I don't like it when people in Texas can't have an abortion when they're literally about to die because of however their pregnancy is going. I don't even agree with, like what? You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. There's just too much discourse. I don't know. The people who were sitting over there watching that other halftime show or whatever, I don't even, we ain't even call that a halftime show. Who was over there watching that kindergarten show, kindergarten show? Yeah, kick rocks, you suck. Um, and and also I don't want to see none of you people who were out here claiming that it's so funny. I'm talking to people like they, first of all, these type of people probably wouldn't even be listening to the podcast. But granted, I don't want to see none of these people who was over there like boycotting the halftime show simply because it was going to be in Spanish. I don't need to see y'all in any Spanish speaking country during your vacations. I don't want to see y'all eating nobody's food who has a background that is Puerto Rican. Don't be eating no Puerto Rican food either. I don't know. Not at all. You shouldn't even be eating the Mexican food. But here we are, right? No Cuban food. You don't even be eating none of it. None of it. Panamanian, Chilean. None of that. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I guarantee you, if all that food left and you was left with just hot dogs and hamburgers. Cause don't be over here trying to eat my people's food either. Cause you don't even like us either. So don't be coming over here on that soul food tip neither. Eat what you was eating. Your green bean casseroles, your beans, and your tea. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm getting out of hand and I'm getting off topic, y'all. I'm getting off topic. Anywho, I thought the Super Bowl halftime show was amazing. I also went and rewatched Kendrick Lamar's halftime show too because it's on Apple Music and you can watch it. And it was that one was good. I need to go back and look up the symbolism behind the fact that it was a PlayStation controller buttons as well because I thought that was very interesting. Um, but yeah, there was just I love the symbolism within the halftime shows too, and I just think it's a perfect time to send a message to the people who are racist. Like at the end of the day, like racism kills me. It's literally the fact that you feel like another group of people is less than you is beyond me. Granted, I will not act like don't understand if you've had a maybe a bad experience with a person who is not the same race as you, but that also does not apply to the entire race. But it's also not your place to even speak on the entire race and put whatever your experience was onto them. And what I mean by that is obviously like if something happened to you because a black person did it to you or whatever, like that doesn't mean every single black person is like a horrible person or out to get you. It's the same thing. Like I could sit here to this day and have beef with the Vietnamese lady who literally hung up in my face at my favorite fuss spot, and I could be like fuck Vietnamese people, but I'm not, because it's really just fuck that bitch. Her only. Because why would you hang up on me? Because that's fucked up. And you hung up on me twice. But like, I'm never going to associate that with every single Vietnamese person at all. And I think that stays the same for the people who have had bad experiences with, a black person. Granted, though, I also feel like it's not the same thing as you did something to someone else, like to did something to someone and then you fucked around and found out. Like that's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to stay in your place, but also understand you deserve whatever you did if you did do something. Um because that's just how it goes. I'm just having a field day today because I just can't I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the nonsense. I'm sick of this racist shit that they got going on, and it's like against everybody. Like how are you like what? And then you want us over here, what is that, an outrage for the things that ICE is doing to people. And it's just like, bitch, I've been outraged. I was born outraged. I don't even know whose quote it is, but I know there's a quote from a black man where he says like pretty much to be black is to always be outraged, or like you can't rest or something like that. I don't know. I always be trying to say stuff and I got a computer right in front of me. Let me see. Mm-mm-mm. Here we go. To be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all the time. James Baldwin. That's what I'm saying. Like, make it make sense. So I'm not about to sit here and act like I need to be doing the most. Granted, no, both those people shouldn't have died. But also the thousands of people, black people specifically, who have died because of the systemic systemic racism that has been created Yeah, like come on now. Ooh, I'm talking about shit today, y'all. I don't know. Clearly, it's just something I gotta talk about. Anywho, you know, we gonna get into some things today. We was supposed to be getting into that, but hey, as you can see, that's what we got into. And it's Black History Month, so I gotta support my people. Like, I also need to make sure people understand where I stand and how I feel about certain things. I can't be over here acting like certain things don't exist either on this podcast. I very much got to keep it real and I got to keep it honest, like I said. And these are my authentic thoughts. Um, and I feel like at the end of the day, either you respect it or you don't. And at the end of the day, again, I don't give a damn because it is what it is. And it's the truth majority of the time. All right. So today's topic, though, we're talking about Valentine's Day. You know, Valentine's Day is coming up. It is this upcoming weekend, and or if you're listening to this like around Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day, lovely. Um, so I want to get into just a little bit of things for Valentine's Day. I personally am not a gift girl. And I also, for some reason, hate the crowds on Valentine's Day. So I don't even like to go anywhere for Valentine's Day because there's just too many people around. And granted, like Valentine's Day this year is on Saturday, and I know I'd be damned if I'm out and like waiting for a reservation and just all this stuff. So I typically, with my husband, we'll usually cook dinner. And normally we'll get like a ribeye, like a nice ribeye, or a tomahawk steak, and then just like enjoy each other's company and do something cute. But I also want to say, like, we have a date night every week. Like, that is something that we have committed ourselves to. So it's either Saturday or Friday. So it feels like Valentine's Day every Friday or Saturday for me. Yeah. And also going back to the gifts, like gifts is one of my least favorite love languages, always has been. But I also think it's because I grew up, I guess like spoiled is like yes and no. I guess I would just say like I let's just say spoiled to keep things easy. But I very much was. I got the things that I wanted, but I also wasn't a kid who wanted like outrageous shit either. Like I got a phone, I got games if I needed them, but I was very low maintenance. But that was also because like my parents were like, "Do you want material things or do you want to go on vacation?" So I was like, "Yeah, I want vacation. I'll wear these black and white K Swiss every day." So that is also why I do not know anything about shoes. I do not know much about fashion because I chose vacation over fashion growing up. And do I regret it? Absolutely not, because I, I couldn't tell you nothing about these brands. Um yeah, I don't want to ruin my chances if a brand does want to work with me in the future, but I'm just saying like I don't know. Like to me, I just can't waste shit on. I can't waste money on shit I got. Like I'm only gonna wear once or whatever. I don't know. To each his own though. Like shout out to the girls who do love their fashion, who do love their designer, all that kind of stuff. Like I commend you, ladies. I truly do. Um, it's just not for me. Um, and I think that's also probably why I've never cared like what people said about like how I dressed. I try my best, but I'm also like I love to be comfy. Not that things aren't comfy, but I do just enjoy being comfy in general. So that also plays a part in why gifts are just not a thing for me. But I do like activities, but I don't need the activity necessarily for Valentine's Day. Um, and the activities that I like to do, I really like to bowl. I would like to go out to eat more, but because I am in the process of losing weight or just like, body recompositioning, recom body, yeah. Mhm. That one. That one right. I think that's what it's called. I'm trying to redesign this body. But I do love those. Like I like to eat. I do. I like to eat, eat apples and bananas. Like that is me. Okay, I love to eat. I love to try new food. I am such a foodie, but I can't be a foodie right now, and I'm dedicated all the way until June. And all I'm telling myself is by June, I'll be so happy that I stayed dedicated. And I seen this girl's TikTok. Again, credit to TikToker. I don't know, I don't remember these people's names. I'm not taking credit for it either. But this girl's TikTok was right on point. She was just like, stay consistent in the gym or working out or whatever, because one day you're gonna wake up and you gonna look good. You gonna look good. And I like, yes, I agree. Like I agree. And so that's the reason why I haven't, been a foodie, but I do love those kind of activities, especially in Vegas. Like we have such different food, surprisingly, we have such different food here from so many different, um, I don't know if it's called genres of food, styles, cuisines, whatever, from so many different places around the world. I'm sure, you know, Vegas food area should not be considered American because everyone's food is here, but I digress. But yeah, so those are the activities I like to do. And then I love like theme parks and stuff. And it's so crazy because there's so many things, I would say so many things that me and my husband haven't done together. So that's why it always feels like we're still dating. Like that's my favorite thing, is that it always feels like we're still dating. And I just asked, I don't even know what question I asked him the other day, but there's a question that I asked him, and I'm like, how do I not know this about you already? Granted, it wasn't nothing that was like detrimental of like, oh my god, I never asked you this, like this is gonna be the end. But I was just like, wow, like I learn new things about you every like a week or every 2 weeks, babe. So it's super cool. And then also, like I mentioned before, is we have that 365 card deck, and we try our best to ask like scratch the question off every day. So that's also something that like just keeps the love alive, keeps the relationship alive. I mean, but like when you're married to me, the relationship is always alive because I am the most annoying wife anyone could ever have. Anyone. And not annoying in a way of like, what are you doing? I don't trust you. No. Annoying, like, I want to be in your skin. You know what I mean? I want to be one. I want to wear a t shirt that I can fit in there too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of annoying that I am. Yeah. So, anywho, our marriage is a great time and always will be. And I'm praying on that. You feel me? So I did take a poll, and I asked people, did they prefer gifts, an activity, or both? And 26 people, participated in my poll. So now I'm a researcher. And 3 people preferred gifts, 4 people voted activities, and then 3 people, and the rest voted for both. So most people liked both. So that gives you like also an idea of like where people fall. And then I also looked up a study from 2004, so this is not a good time to use for a study, but it included college students who were in relationships but not married, obviously, but committed relationships. And it was the idea to see if Valentine's Day has an effect on their relationships. And some things that were pointed out were people use Valentine's Day to show their love. People are not met with this idea of if their love is real or not. Sorry, people are met. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Again, y'all know I be struggling. People are met with this idea of if their love is real or just scripted for the holiday. So what they found was that some people found their partner to be performative for Valentine's Day. So it made them weary of if their love was actually real. And so then the overall thing that they found was that people mentioned sorry. And the overall thing that they found from the study was that people who were not in a super secure relationship had a 5% chance of breaking up, which I thought was like crazy, very interesting. So that was like my little scholarly piece that I wanted to include in today's episode. And then I also found these cute little what is this? I went on Reader's Digest and there's an article um by Amy Zarello, which is Reader's Digest Canada. And it's my funny Valentine, hilarious Valentine's Day stories that are guaranteed to make you grin. So I'm going to read just a few of my favorite ones that I found. So the first one is it's called Nuts About Love. So driving through Southern California, I stopped at a roadside stand that sold fruit, vegetables, and crafts. As I went to pay, I noticed the young woman behind the counter was painting a sign. Why the new sign? I asked. The person responded, "My boyfriend didn't approve of the old one," she said. When I glanced at what hung above the counter, I understood. It said, "Local honey dates nuts." Get it? A local honey dates nuts. Yeah, so funny, right? Yeah. And then the second one is irresistible irony. So, about a year had passed since my amicable divorce, and I decided it was time to start dating again. Unsure how to begin, I thought I'd scan the personnel's column of my local newspaper. I just want to pause to think about the fact that back in the day they was really using the newspaper to find people, because the only thing that I know that is in a newspaper is who died for the week. So that was interesting to me. Anywho, I came across three men who seemed like they'd be promising candidates. A couple of days later, I was checking my answer machine and discovered a message from my ex-husband. He said, "I was over visiting the kids yesterday." He said, "While I was there, I happened to notice you had circled some ads in the paper." He said, "Don't bother calling the guy in the second column. I can tell you right now it won't work because that guy is me." I'm wondering if these are like, if the column then are these anonymous people, like, here is so and so. I just have to figure out how this works. I gotta get back to you guys on that. I'm gonna make sure I add that into the next episode to see like how did this work, because what. Anywho, the last one that I found was really cute is making the grade. My high school English teacher was well known for being a fair but hard grader. One day I received a B minus on a theme paper. In hopes of bettering my grade and in the spirit of the Valentine season, I sent her an extravagant heart-shaped box of chocolates with the pre-printed inscription, "Be mine." The following day, I received in return a Valentine from the teacher. It read, "Thank you, but it's still B minus." I thought that was such like a great comeback from the teacher. All right. So those are all the little Reader Digest things that I thought was cute. I'm definitely going to look into this column situation of people submitting their love, like Tinder newspaper, I guess. Very interesting. All right, so let's get into the Tea Talks hotline. I asked people what were their favorite dates and what were their worst dates. So, first favorite date, the only favorite date we have, but somebody submitted their favorite date, and it says, My favorite date would have to be my past birthday. After so many damaging relationships, you get used to certain patterns, but this year I was completely shocked and couldn't even think straight with the excitement I felt. I typically hate flowers, same girl, same, but I was showered in flowers, attention, the text every girl wants, be ready by 7 p.m. I know that's right. The whole nine. He made reservations at a chop house, even though all I asked for was Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory. But I love Cheesecake Factory bread though, so I feel you, girl. Oh, but she said because I love their calamari. Same. For once, I felt loved, appreciated, and special. Of course, I love myself every day, but to be loved by a man you love, that feeling is indescribable. Ugh, I agree. I agree. I love love. Who doesn't love love? Like, how can you not love love? See? And then again, it just brings me back to the fact that there are people who really be out here hating on folks, who really preach hate. And that's crazy because look what love can do. Love can make a girl feel so amazing even after so many damaging relationships. Like now, love is back alive. Now, love is in the air. You know, she could feel comfortable with the opportunity that's presented. I just want to thank you for sharing it, whoever shared this. I love that. Okay, so the craziest date, the worst date. So the craziest date was going to the movies with a guy, and he brought his mom along with him so she could enjoy the movie too. We never spoke after that. Yeah, I wouldn't be speaking after that either. First of all, what the hell is your mama doing here? Like, why is your mama here? Also, like, what what are we saying to each other? And then do we sit on both sides of you? Because I'm gonna tell mom to go sit in a different row. Because what? No, I don't know. I don't know if somebody pulled up and their mama was there, I think I wouldn't have. I think I would have left. I'm like, you know what? I'm. Oh my gosh! I hit him with the girl. Call me because I'm trying to get out of this date. Like that. That would have been me. Because ain't no way you mean to tell me that we just pull up to the movies for the first date and your mom is here. What is your What is your mother doing here? Cheryl, go home. And then also I'm wondering, did you tell your mom you were going on a date? Like, oh, I'm going to go meet up with a friend. Oh, no problem. I'm going to come too. How did this work? How did this conversation go? Is my question. Also, did your mom, well, I guess if this is the first date, it doesn't specify. Now, if it's not, now I'm not saying this to justify anything. I'm just curious, like, if it's the first date, also did he drive his mom? Did his mom drive after? Cause like, what if I went to the movies with you and then like we wanted to kick it afterwards? Did your mom ride with you? Because I'm gonna send your mama home in an Uber because now I want to go out to eat. Because I get it. You said you never spoke to me after that. No, 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 no. You brought your mom. We're going out to family dinner. Okay, we're gonna make the best of this. Okay, and then I know that there's two of y'all here. So go ahead. I'm finna double up what I'm ordering. They gonna be like, perhaps a salad, perhaps not. You and your mama here, y'all both finna split this bill for me. Because the fact that you're playing in my face like this with your mom, it's crazy. It's insane. Wow. I'm shocked. I don't know what I would have did. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. No. Just no. All right. So that is all for the Tea Talks hotline that we have today. Remember, you can always submit your comments, questions, concerns, topic of the week questions to the thetalks.com. And now we are going to move into the Would You Rather segment. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with this one. Um, I feel like this one aligns a little bit with Valentine. It doesn't align, but there's some things that happen in Valentine's Day with this one. All right. Would you rather have a social phobia that will never again allow you to hug or kiss anyone, or have a social phobia that will never again allow you to look a person directly in the eye? I just also want to preface that this is from the book, because I do know that we are in times where, people are on the spectrum, and these are some of similar um, traits. I don't know if I'm saying the right thing. Y'all, please understand that I am trying to be as appropriate as possible. So just know this is just a would you rather, and no offense. Okay. Um, Anywho, I think that I'm gonna have to go with the social phobia that will never again allow you to look a person directly in the eye. Because I think at the end of the day, I'm gonna just have to put like a mirror, so then it looks like I'm look like, if I want to feel like I'm looking you in the eye, I'm just gonna put a mirror down so then I can see your eyeballs. Because I like to make direct eye contact. Let me know what you would do. And then it says here, there's a woman in New York, England, who's allergic to people. When she kisses her husband, for example, the area around her lips gets scratchy and splotchy. Interesting. What percentage of public high school teachers favor banning students from kissing and hugging on school grounds? And the answer is 69%. All right, so that's it for that. Let me know what you would do. And then, as always, I love to close out the week with a weekly quote for you to take with you. And, it's still Black History Month. So we are going to go with a quote from Ella Fitzgerald. And she says, just don't give up what you're trying to do. Where there is love and inspiration, I don't think you can go wrong. Okay? So take that with you this week. And like always, before I wrap it up, I just want to thank you for listening to this episode of the Tea Talks. Make sure to follow this podcast on all platforms at the Tea Talks Pod. And remember, you can watch this podcast on YouTube as well as Spotify. And if you want your questions, stories, or comments featured, head over to the thetalks.com and submit them now, as they are always anonymous. And as always, I love y'all. Stay safe, stay honest, and I'll talk with you next week. Bye.